Larry, let me start with the new reports about the casualty, which was CENTCOM has released a statement mentioning that two American forces, American soldiers were killed. One of them is missing. And here is the new report on New York Times. They have reported that Iran has carried out 4 attacks against the US forces in Jordan in 5 days. And based on what New York Times reported, the first strike targeted a residential facility at King Faisal Air Base, injuring up to 5 US troops. The second hit in eastern Jordanian base used, the second hit, it was the eastern part of a Jordanian base used by US Black Hawk helicopters, damaging a significant number of them. 2 days later, Iranian missiles struck Muaffaq Salti Air Base in Azraq, injuring around 20 US troops who rushed to take shelter in bunkers. A follow-up attack on Friday at the Muaffaq Salti Air Base killed 2 US service members, left 1 missing. The latest part is what reported in the CENTCOM, and injured 4 others.
You know what the 1 missing means?
The missile just evaporated the guy.
Yeah, he's vaporized. Yeah. So, not going to come back.
No. Looking at this report, Larry, finally they're admitting, it seems that there is another report on Wall Street Journal mentioning that Russia and China, maybe they're helping Iran because they're getting so accurately to the target. And it says that Iran has adopted to American missile defenses by using missiles that travel at extremely high speed and are capable of maneuvering during their final descent, according to Wall Street Journal. And it said officials have also expressed concern over Iran's improved strike accuracy, raising suspicions that it may be receiving targeting assistance from China and Russia. This is what was reported on Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, it's called no shit analysis. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Oh, you think Russia and China providing that assistance? I think we talked yesterday briefly that the Beidou system, which China moved to, starting after its ships were stopped and disabled via GPS back in the 90s. They're now like the 3rd generation of it. The Russians have another system called Glasnost. Depending on who you talk to the Chinese, they say their system's better. Talk to the Russians, they say their system's better. But whether it's Russian or Chinese, the system can no longer be hacked by the United States. And during the 12-day war, the Iranians were still using the GPS, basically the US GPS system. And the United States was able to spoof coordinates so that the missiles would think that they were flying to one location and actually they were flying to a completely different location. And so their accuracy was way off. Now the accuracy is spot on. And that's because of Russian and Chinese and Russian assistance.
It seems to me that they're using different type of missiles, Larry, because looking at the footage and the photos of those missiles, mostly old missiles, they again came out with the same sort of a strategy, depleting the air defense systems, then using the accurate ones. And those are mostly capable to hit the target within meters. Not, right. I don't know. Yeah, this is my understanding is this, and the cooperation, I think it would be at highest levels right now between Iran, Russia, and China.
Well, why are you surprised by that? I mean,
No.
you act like this is something new.
I am surprised. Actually, to be honest, I'm so surprised they're
Why? That
cooperating this way.
China and Russia signed basically a mutual defense agreement, security cooperation agreement with Iran back in January. Hello, they signed up to do this exact same thing. Yeah, so don't be surprised. It's I'm surprised that people are surprised. but Iran, it's possibility that Iran may be firing using some new Chinese missiles. I don't think they're using any Russian missiles. It just, Russia has plenty, doesn't need to send its missiles to Iran, and Russia's testing it on the battlefield in Ukraine. Whereas for China, they need some battlefield testing of their weapons. They got weapons, but they go out and they fire them off on a range, but they don't get to see, do they actually perform in combat conditions? Now they get to see.
Yeah. It was reported on Channel 13 in Israel that the U.S. declares critical week as it prepares to expand the war, and the U.S. State Department has issued a worldwide a worldwide caution notice due to heightened tensions in the Middle East, warning in each and everybody that goes to the Middle East, basically talking about that the escalation is coming. How far do they want to escalate, Larry? Because today we've learned from the side of Iran, and they said they're going to hit some important facilities in the UAE. And just before, just moments ago, the UAE Foreign Ministry expressed deep concern over the recent regional escalation, calling for an immediate halt to hostilities, de-escalation, and maximum restraint to prevent further violence in the region. It urged a swift return to negotiations and stressed the importance of safe and uninterrupted shipping through the Strait of Hormuz for the global economy. And the UAE also called for an end to attack on civilian infrastructure such as school, hospitals, desalination plants, and energy facilities, describing them as serious violations of international law. So they're so concerned in the UAE because today Iran said they're going to hit their airport, they're going to hit Fujairah, and the other port that they have. These two ports that are so important, somehow out of the Strait of Hormuz.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Iran's, again, I'm not, it's like common. Here's what Iran said it's going to do. Iran's doing what it said it's going to do. And then people act, oh my God, Iran did what it said it's going to do. They're not making idle threats. And we'll see how extensive the U.S. attack is tonight, because it should be starting right now. But instead of Iran waiting to get hit, they're now taking the initiative. They're initiating strikes.
Yeah. It seems that the United States, here some news that came out says the United States 12 F-16s fighter jets from Germany, they're sending them to the Middle East, to the West Asia, and 9 F-35 from the United Kingdom, and they're getting to the West Asia in order to escalate.
So they had pulled those out, and now it looks like they're putting them back in. And then the key is, where are they going to be based? And that's why I think Iran's going to keep striking Mawafaq al-Salti and King Hassan, King Prince Hassan. I've heard different names for the air base in Jordan. I think that's the primary air base where they're operating from, and then relying upon KC-135 tankers coming out of Ben Gurion. So, Iran can definitely escalate this in a variety of ways. If I was them, I would take out every fuel storage tank at Ben Gurion Airport. Take that out. Those damn planes don't fly. Real simple. Same at Muwafaq al Salti and the King Hassan Air Base in Jordan, and then continue to just wipe out the two major military installations in Kuwait, the two major military installations in Bahrain, and then take out Al Udeid in Qatar. And that leaves UAE.
Yeah. It seems that the casualties so far is going to be 16. U.S. service members have been killed and 430 wounded. And this is basically the official statements by the Trump administration. What is your assessment of these numbers?
No, I think they're lowballing them. They're trying to downplay it, and that's going to be the other thing that's going to cause Trump to seek a new ceasefire. He's going to come back to the table and be begging and pleading. No, we need a ceasefire. Can't continue doing this. But you look at the combination of the oil price. It is, that's. Let's see, where are we at now? Yeah, you're up to 88, almost $89 for Brent. Almost 83 for West Texas Intermediate. Those are big numbers. In fact, I went to the gas station today while I was filling my car up with gas. The price of gas went up 2 cents. Just standing there.
Last night, the whole region in the Iraqi Kurdistan was on fire. And it was the whole mountain was on fire. And there you see the secondary explosions happening. And it seems that they hit many of these depots in Iraqi Kurdistan, which basically are used by Kurdish people. I don't know if the United States has been using those depots to attack.
Well, CIA has, I'm sure. I mean, it's primarily Kurdish, but it'd be CIA. It's going to be a covert operation, not overt, not hanging a U.S. flag out there.
Yeah. The international oil companies in Iraqi Kurdistan have decided to pause production, effective immediately because of the escalation that is happening in the region. And they're saying that they're going to get somehow out of the region until everything gets back to normal. And these are American companies there.